Hi, I'm Liza Pitsirilos and welcome to Yoga for Healthy Hips and Hamstrings. Today we're going to be coming into a variety of yoga poses to help open up and lengthen the hips, the hip flexors, and the hamstrings. The hamstrings and the hips are areas of our body that we use daily. We use them to stand, to walk, sometimes to run, and rarely do we take the time to really stretch these areas of our body out. Today, the intention is to work in a struggle-free way in your yoga practice. So what does that really mean? Well, first we have to acknowledge and become aware of the places that we are struggling in. So oftentimes it's in our neck, our jaw, our eyes, our belly. So setting an intention today to really work in a struggle-free way. What you'll need for our yoga journey is a bolster to sit on, a strap, and 2 yoga blocks. Let's begin. Find a comfortable seated position and bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana, fanning the toes back. Sit up nice and tall and roll the shoulders back and down. And then close your eyes. Begin to slow your breath down, feeling for a 2-second inhale and a 4-second exhalation. As we begin our yoga practice and we step into yoga ceremony, it begins with first slowing down and paying attention to the internal landscape and environment. So right now, as you're breathing in on the inhalation, feel for the breath rising up like an elevator, taking inventory of the upper part of the body. And as you exhale, wash the breath down into the lower half of the body and acknowledging what accessibility you have there. We often spend most of our day living in headspace, and for us to step into yoga ceremony, we're asking ourselves to really slow down to the point that we can access the lower halves of the body and the wisdom that's stored there. So on the next few breaths, begin to feel for widening the breath, and opening up to explore the vast terrain within. Now as we begin to integrate some of the poses and explore the lower terrains of the hips, the hamstrings, recognize that there are areas of the body that will react in response to this opening. And paying very particular attention to how you go into struggle. And struggle can be a physical thing with the jaw clamping, the eyes contracting, or even a tightness within the belly. But struggle can also be a mental thing where we start judging ourselves or going into blame for why these areas feel tight, not making the time to stretch. What I ask of you is to set a clear commitment to yourself. Commit to recognizing the behavior or the physical response, and praise yourself lavishly with breath. When you catch it, come back to the now. Now take the right hand, fold index finger and middle finger into the palm for alternate nostril breathing. Take the thumb onto the right nostril, and as you inhale, inhale for a count of 2 through the left side. Close both nostrils and hold the breath. And then open up through the thumb side. Exhale for 4. Take a inhale for a count of 2 through the right side. Closing both nostrils, hold the breath. And as you hold the breath, explore this vast landscape of spaciousness and of abundance. Can you work with receiving this in a struggle-free way? Open up through the left side, exhale the breath out for 4. Inhale through the left side for 2. Holding both nostrils for a count of 6. Open up through the right side, exhale for 4. And then inhale through the right side for 2 again. Holding while softening internally. Open up through the left side and exhale for 4. Gently release the hand and feel with your next breath for how much accessibility, how much space you have in your breath capacity. On the next breath, inhale, take the hands to the outsides of the legs and gently close the legs back to center and acknowledging the sensation in the hips. So let's come on to the back. Take your bolster away from you and bring your hips right alongside of the wall. As you line the hips up to the wall, gently lean back and pivot the legs so that they come straight up the wall. You may need to inch yourself forward to get the glutes to be on the wall as well. Bring the arms alongside of the body, shoulders down from the ears, and close your eyes again, making that internal shift to really step back into your breath and to step into your body. Feeling for the weight of gravity as it's pulling the circulation of blood down through the backs of the legs, in through the hamstrings, cleansing them, and into the pelvis. And notice what level or layers of resistance you're feeling in the backs of the hamstrings. If there's a lot of resistance, micro bend the knees. Give yourself a little bit of space. And take a deep breath in, acknowledging the good that you're doing by stretching them out. Take a deep inhale. And exhale the breath out. Now inhale, take the legs and gently straddle the legs open. So this level of straddle, if you're feeling tight this morning, go in a mild beginning. So taking the backs of the legs, pressing them in, and then reach through the balls of the feet. So you're extending through the inner and back of the calf. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, letting your back side of the body fold into the earth. So feeling internally for letting another layer of resistance and struggle letting it dissolve through the exhales. And after your 4th or 5th breath, if the hamstrings and the hips can go a little further, open the legs out and feel what it's like to go into the 2nd level of straddle on the wall. Take a deep breath in, washing the breath up to the throat and the jaw. And exhale, separating the lower half of the jaw away from the upper half. We have a tendency to clamp our jaw when we're doing hip opening. So working with an empowered sense in your practice. Let's take one more deep inhale. Shoulders relax and exhale the breath out. On the inhalation, take the hands to the outsides of the legs. Exhale, guide the legs back to center. And do this slowly. Your hips and hamstrings are beginning to warm up. Now, bring your feet down so they're higher than your knees. But then bring yourself back away from the wall so the glutes are no longer touching. For frog on the wall. So frog on the wall, you're going to pivot the foot, or actually both feet, at the height of your knees. This is a deep hip opener, so the degree to which your toes and your feet turn out will vary depending on how your hips feel today. Just take a moment and acknowledging here again the sensation. So take a deep inhale first. And feeling as you exhale for relaxing through the upper body. Letting the sacrum and the lower back rest into the earth too. And then again, inhale, but this time inhale down into the hips and into pelvis. Exhale. Take one more breath, feeling as you inhale for keeping a wide open amount of space around the forehead, the jaw, and the throat. Now staying with frog position for the feet, prepping for frog lifting through abdominals. Inhale, interlace your hands behind the back of your skull. So frog lifting through abdominals continues to open up through the hips, but it's also going to tone and engage the upper and lower abdominals, which are very important for our immune system, excretory system, and digestive system. So to start off, take a deep inhale down into hips and pelvis. Hold the breath, curling head and shoulders up. On the exhale, curl pubic bone towards navel. And then squeeze the sit bones, tractioning the thighs away from the hips. On the inhale, rest pelvis down, take elbows up, working the upper abs. On exhale again, curl pubic bone towards navel. And pull low belly down. On the inhalation, relax the pelvis. Take elbows up. Exhale again, curl pubic bone towards navel. Squeeze the sit bones as you move the thighs away from the hips to create this space. Pull low belly in towards the spine. And on inhale, relax the pelvis. Elbows up.
Exhale again, curl pubic bone towards navel. Squeeze the sit bones to tailbone and reach the thighs away from the hips. Low belly pulls in. Inhale, relax the pelvis. And exhale, relax head and shoulders down. Take the hands onto the belly. Take a deep inhale, tapping into the sensation within the lower abdominals. Exhale any frustration, any judgment out. Feeling for using this energy in a wiser way than going into a cycle of judgment or struggle. On the next breath, inhale, take the hands to the outsides of the legs. And as you exhale, close the legs back to center and feel your hips. There's a lot of movement and opening happening here. Bring the soles of the feet about, I would say, good 6 inches above the knees. And bring your glutes back to the wall. So you're coming not exactly on the wall, but I would say about 6 inches from the wall as well, for bridge on the wall. Palms of the hands face up alongside of the hips. Take a deep inhale into the heart and chest. On exhale, press the feet into the wall and lift the hips up towards the sky. Now the positioning of the feet, you might find you need to inch the feet up a little higher. That's okay. But feeling as you relax through the arms, palms up, feeling for the front body as it stretches up. And the tops of the legs, the quads, begin to stretch, including the hip flexors. Take a deep breath in. And exhale your breath out. Again, inhale. And exhale the breath out, relaxing through the back of the neck and the shoulders. Begin to activate the feet if the toes have not lifted. And on your next breath, exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the face, lowering the upper back slowly down. Curling pubic bone again towards the face, lowering the mid-back down. Curling one more time as you lower the low back down and feel the freedom in the back of your spine, right? So the back side of body. Gently take your knees away from one another. Soles of the feet come together in Baddha Konasana. Shoulders down. Inch your way towards the wall to the point where your hips are opening and yet you're working free of struggle here. Close the eyes and take a deep breath in. Exhale, releasing the weight of sacrum, lower back, into the earth again. Take one more Ujjayi breath. And then exhale, take the hands to the outsides of the legs and close it back to center. Let's transition onto one side, so knees into the chest. Just transitioning over to the left side in this case, roll on over in a fetal position. And as you come up, press up, leaving the head to hang. Use the left palm of the hand to the left side of the face. And as you exhale, gently guide your head back up to center. Let's find a comfortable seated position, either on the bolster or off.
Bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Toes flex back. And then take a deep inhale as you reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, take the arms forward and down. Letting the palms rest down. Inhale, telescope the ribs forward. And then exhale, bend the elbows, releasing the back of the neck and feeling internally for the stretch through the inner thighs and the adductors, as well as the lower back. Take a deep breath down into hips and pelvis. And exhale. Releasing the back of the neck a little more. We tend to hold here subconsciously. Taking another deep breath down into the hips. And you'll notice there's sometimes resistance. If this is the first time you've been practicing in a while, you'll feel that layer of resistance down in this area. The more you practice, the more elasticity, more freedom you have, and more access and range of motion to it. Inhale, gently walk your hands back to your shins. Keep the chin folding into the chest. And then at the last moment, take one palm to the forehead and exhale, guide your head up with care and grace, keeping a relaxed neck. Now coming into Baddha Konasana with hip tractioning. So the tendency for this area to get really tight and congested is something that we have to work with. So taking the right hand in the middle of the quad, fingertips face the kneecap. Bring the left hand down onto about a foot away from the hip, the left hip. Lean your head away from right shoulder. And then as you inhale, push down through the heel of right hand to move the thigh muscle away from the hip joint. And then close your eyes. You might even find a smile appearing on your face from that stretch in the hip flexor. Inhale down into the hips again and pelvis. And pulling low belly in on the exhalation. Now inhale, let the pressure subside. And on your next breath, inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach it over the ear for seated side bend in Baddha Konasana. Take a deep inhale, lifting up through the collarbones. And as you exhale, wrap the right shoulder in towards the chest and collarbones. Let's take a moment to really feel internally down into the lower back with your breath. And feeling for the space that you're creating through this stretch from fingertips through armpit down into side ribs and intercostal muscles and into quadratus lumborum, lower back. Take one more deep inhale as you reach the arm back up. And exhale, gently guide your head up using the left palm to left side of the head. Let's switch sides. Taking the right hand a foot away from the right hip onto the ground, spread the fingers widely apart. Left heel of the hand comes into the thigh, into the quad. Take a deep inhale, lifting up through the collarbones. Exhale, lean the head away and push heel of the hand into the thigh muscle, giving resistance to the thigh
so that the hip can open up a little further than its natural state. Take a deep breath in, and washing the breath to find those areas that are tense. So it may be the right shoulder that can loosen down from the ear. And it may be just loosening up through the lips and the jawbone. As you inhale, let the pressure subside. Left arm reaches up, doing this without yanking at the neck, without gripping in those muscles. And on exhale, bend the bottom elbow for seated side bend in Baddha Konasana, letting the head completely relax here. Taking one more breath, and as you inhale, rise, reaching left arm up, fingertips spread widely apart. Exhale, push the body up, leaving the head to hang, and gently guiding the head up using right palm to right side of the face. Close the legs, coming into shoelace. Take one of your blocks, place the right outside of the foot onto the block and align the block in front of your left knee. So now we're targeting the outer hip and piriformis muscle. Flex the toes back to protect your knee. Take your second block to the front of the mat, arm's length away from you. On the inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the arms forward and down. And then begin to feel into the outer right hip by breathing down in support of the stretch in that area. Now as you inhale, lengthen through the ribs. Exhale, bending the elbows, and if you're at your edge, your layer of resistance, just let the head relax. You don't have to go any further forward with the chest. Breathe down into the hips to really support these muscles as they're opening up in a really different way. We're used to just really sitting on them, which closes them off and contracts them. This is the opposite. So take a deep breath in, down into the hips, down into pelvis. And exploring how your breath can actually help you in stretching these muscles out. You'll notice gravity's here supporting you. The more you release into its pull, into its cradling in support of you, the more pleasure can come in as a reward in the pose. The more you resist and tighten around it, the more struggle prevents you from accessing that pleasure spectrum. Take a deep inhale, walk your hands back to your shins into the hips. With one palm to the forehead, exhale, guide your head back up. And switch sides. Taking your block, this time in front of your right knee. Bring the outside of the left foot on top of the block. Take a deep inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms forward and down. And you'll notice that one side feels tighter than the other. This is what's so beautiful about the practice of yoga. One of the many things that are beautiful about it is you become much more in tune with these unique attributes and qualities of your body. And how does that come in? It comes in through the presence of breath. And it allows you to choose a different way of working with yourself. So instead of judging and resisting and fighting the tighter side, what if you breathe down into it to acknowledge it and to give it compassion and patience and understanding? What a remarkable way to work with yourself. It's totally different. Take another deep breath down into the hip. And if this side needs a little more time, if this is your tighter side, stay for a few extra breaths. And slowly walk the hands back to your hips. Take one hand to the forehead and exhale, gently guide your head back up. And feel the impermanence of the pose. Let's come on to the back. So working this time away from the wall, your head can be back towards the wall. Grab your strap. And back sensitive folks, keep your right foot on the ground to protect your lower back. If your back is not sensitive, you can extend the right leg but reach to the ball of the foot, toes flex back. Bring the strap onto the ball of left foot. Straighten the leg and feel your hamstrings as you take a deep breath in. Exhale, shoulders down, away from the ears. Our tendency is to compromise our upper body in order to access the hamstrings. Why do it? We have so much more intelligence that we can work with here. So mindfully, shoulders relaxed. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, guiding the leg back, provided you're not at your edge already. Inhale. And exhale, wash the breath down, acknowledging any trembles in the muscles, any contraction in the surrounding areas, like your abdomen, and beginning to relax those areas. Now inhale, take the strap into your right hand. Exhale, cross the leg over to the right side, coming into a spinal twist in an IT band stretch. The left hand can gently extend out to the left side, palm of the hand faces up. Keeping the leg extended and off the ground, take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently guide the leg up towards the face and pause and breathe. Take a moment and feel with the hands for softening the grip. Work is being done in the leg, not really in the hand muscles here. Inhale, bring the leg back up to center. Exhale, release the strap, coming into pigeon on the back. So pigeon on the back, take the sole of the foot over, the left sole of foot over to the right side of the room. Interlace the hands around the outside of the foot and the inner sole. Take a deep inhale as the foot elevates right above the heart. And exhale, gently bend your knee, taking the foot down to the heart. And feeling into the back of the gluteal region, piriformis. Elbows relax, take a deep breath in. And exhaling, softening around the face. This is one of the areas that I have to even be attentive to. The face can express struggle as well. Noticing if any judgment comes up around your range of motion, or comparing what you once were able to do to what you're able to do today, and come into a present truth, which is that you're here doing the good internal work that's needed to create that freedom to do the things you love with greater ease. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release the leg, which may feel like spaghetti, and lower it down. Just taking a moment to acknowledge both sides of the body. Back sensitive folks, bend your left knee and take the foot onto the ground. Non-back sensitive folks, reach through the left ball of foot and flex the toes back. Place the strap onto the ball of your right foot for the hamstring stretch. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, shoulders down, away from the ears, elbows into the ribs. And then close your eyes. Come back to the internal sensation, the freedom of the breath here. And the support of the breath as you guide the leg further back on exhale. Reaching through the ball of the foot creates that internal engagement in the adductors as well as the hip flexors. So inhale deeply. Exhale, grab the strap in the left hand and gently pivot over into the IT band and spinal twist. Right arm out to the right side, palm facing up. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, keeping the foot and leg elevated and lightening the grip of the strap. Giving a slight adjustment of the leg towards the face. And doing this again in a struggle-free way. Inhale, bring the leg back up to center. And then exhale, release the strap for pigeon on the back. Taking the left sole of the foot, rotating it over to the right side, hands clasp around the foot. Take a deep inhale through the nose. As the foot reaches right above the heart, you'll feel something in the outer part of the hip. Exhale, draw the foot down to the heart and release the shoulders. So again, this is a tighter band of muscles around the gluteal region and piriformis that we're stretching. Be very slow and deliberate with the breath here. Relaxing through the jaw, relaxing through the arms a little further, pivot them in to the ribs. Take one final breath in the pose, ending with a strong and vibrant Ujjayi breath. On the inhale, reach the leg back up, releasing the foot press the back down, and as you exhale, lower the leg down and feel the legs as they release down into the earth for Shavasana. So back sensitive folks or knee sensitive folks, you can grab your bolster and place your bolster right underneath the knees. And this will support you so that there's less tension in these areas. If you'd like to continue to open up the hips in Shavasana for several breaths, take the soles of the feet together, fan the toes back, and then let the palms of the hands face up. You can always extend the legs whenever you feel you'd like. So take the heads of the shoulders back down from the ears, releasing the lower back to the earth. And then tilt your chin away from the chest so you've freed up another few inches in your neck muscles. Closing the eyes and letting go of the breath. This is a pose where you can really feel all of the cumulative benefits of your practice. And as you're resting here, there's this vast amount of space that is within your core, very much like the expansion of the sky, where you can see the opening of clouds as they morph into one another. Allowing the spaciousness within yourself to be felt from the bottom of the pelvis all the way up to the crown of the head. And just exploring how liberating it is to be so open, to be so free of struggle. Slowly bring some awareness back into the fingertips and the toes. Letting your palms of the hands come to the outsides of the legs and bringing the knees into the chest, hugging them in for a nice lower back stretch. Inhale, roll on over to your right side of your mat, coming into a fetal position with conscious breath, deliberate breath here. Inhale, press on up, leaving the right side of the head to hang. And using right palm to gently guide your head back up. Find any comfortable seated position, either on your bolster or the ground, and sit up nice and tall. Bring the palms of the hands together, shoulders back and down again. And as we close our yoga practice and ceremony, really fascinating on this new way of working and being. This opportunity for you to register and recognize your habitual ways. When you get into a challenge, turning to your breath for the support and recognizing where in your body you need that additional support and attention so that you can move from your wisest self.
Let's take a deep breath in, honoring this deep internal work. Bowing forward as we journey forward into
our day. Namaste.